Was I too late?
Too early.
Sound good on this? All right. Sorry, guys. It's my first time in Hollywood.
It's all good, brother. It's all good.
First time on a podcast, huh?
Very first time on a podcast. People usually don't like me that much.
Well, we love you over here, so.
You had a special end with this one.
Fantastic.
But, what, this is episode, 168?
Yep.
The No Hangover podcast. Before we get into all the fun stuff, big shout out to my barber Sincere for letting us use his barber shop for a studio. You can see it right here, 24K Barber Lounge. It's the only type of barber spot in Orlando that you can come get your hair cut, get your hair braided, and you can get a tattoo as well. So, play pool. We got vending machines. You can even have a little drink around here. So, big shout out to him. We'll definitely have him on hopefully soon, maybe the next time we're recording here. But if you are in the Orlando Winter Park area, 2240 Winter Woods Boulevard, Winter Park, Florida, Barber Lounge, 24K Barber Lounge. Come get your hair cut to get you right.
Just fucking do it.
But Zach, my
Eric.
boy Zach, he's here on the podcast. We've been friends
Since we were like 5, I think.
since we were 5 years
4 or
old.
5,
My
I'm
fucking
fucking
longest tenured friend over here.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, and it's been a long time coming. We've been trying to get you on for a while, but, obviously.
I live out in BFE. Understand? I like to play with fucking sharks and
shit.
dolphins and shit in the water. Yeah,
New Smyrna, right? That's where all the fucking shark bites happen.
yeah, dude.
So,
I'm just waiting. Then I get to call out, and I don't know. I don't know if insurance covers that or what.
but, yeah, so we're finally here, finally get him on. It's going to be a good one. We're going to, probably ruffle some feathers. Huh?
Dude, I'm going to get one as a pet.
Like, they swim very shallow waters.
Yeah, they do. They don't
Have
give
you ever
a
seen,
fuck.
like, the overhead videos where it's, like, a guy out there just fishing?
Well, did you
Not
see?
really the fucking
I know it
shark.
wasn't here, but that video in Egypt, like of that
Oh, the
guy
guy
getting
actually
fucking
Dude,
tore up.
Fuck that guy.
And
Dude,
they
that's
went-
the fucking same thing as Harambe. It's like, yeah, dude, you're playing in their fucking backyard. What do you think's gonna happen? That's like someone coming into your house.
It's literally like, who goes back into the ocean to find the shark that did it? Like,
Well, they got it and
But how
killed
do you
it.
know it's
Yeah,
that shark?
They killed the shark because they found, like,
But how do they know?
remains in it.
Did
That,
they?
and I was asking that same thing. Like, how do they know? Like, do they kill it and then open it up and
That's
then
what I'm
like,
saying.
wrong one?
Well, either way, like, he was in the ocean. Like, that's in the shark's natural habitat. How is he in the wrong for eating?
That's what
What
I'm
do
saying.
you
That's
not,
like someone breaking your house and you killing them, and then they're like, "Well, you're a piece of shit for
Yeah,
doing
they're
that."
like, we're killing you because you killed them.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Shit.
I did what I was doing to protect myself, or in the shark's case, it just looked like some food. Sorry for the guy, but wrong.
And I mean, it was what, a tiger shark, a bull shark, one of those two. But those sharks are
They're
aggressive as
They
shit.
are aggressive, and it did tear his ass up, but
Well,
Did you watch the video? That shit, like that man was screaming for his life. I kind of
Oh,
felt
dude,
bad.
you
Like it was hard to
should.
watch.
stop fucking swimming, dude. I don't know. Go to a pool.
Real shit. Oh man. So
well, he ain't swimming nowhere no more.
5 years old, we've been friends. You and that's something that we talk about a lot on this podcast is traveling, going to different places and things like that. You specifically grew up in a lot of different states and things like that.
That I did.
How do you feel like that how do you feel like that?
Shaped and molded.
Yeah,
That's
there you
the
go.
man you are today.
I mean, you're exposed to a lot of different ideas, man. I mean, I was born in Altamont Springs, so I grew up around the Orlando area. I think I moved away when I was like 8, and then lived in California for 2 years, which I mean, I was first and second grade then, so I mean, I remember it, but like it wasn't enough to see how it actually was living there. And then I moved to Chicago, which I stayed most of my years growing up. And
That's
then,
what you would consider like your hometown.
yeah, I always tell people like I'm from Chicago. I grew up in Chicago because, I mean, dude, when you're 8, like all you give a shit about is fucking Power Rangers and I don't know, grabbing sticks and fighting trees and I don't know, dude. Like, so like, yeah, I guess I learned everything.
You became who you are.
Yeah, and then halfway through high school, I moved back to Florida.
Yeah.
But at that point, man, you're pretty much you got the basis of who
gist,
you are, and
yeah.
then but yeah, I'd say probably the thing that is just different people, different opinions, seeing different people live. I mean,
Yeah.
especially like, for example, like when I moved from Chicago back down here, as like I want to say as an adult, but like you
As a
realize
young
like
adult.
yeah, it's like oh fuck, dude, there's a big difference from the north and the south,
For sure.
and I didn't know that until like I moved back, but That's
you didn't
pretty much-
realize it? Like, well, I guess when you had moved to Chicago, you were already out of Florida for a while. So
Yeah.
Plus, like you said, he was a kid. I mean,
yeah,
You don't realize that's shit, like you said, until you grow up. And that's just how I feel like when I go to Buffalo or like see family from up north. I'm like,
yeah.
we did not grow up the same.
I will say this though, man. Being in Chicago, I mean, I think that's where I would say like my drive actually like progressed there, because like in Chicago, man, like not trying to go into the topic, but like, dude, at least for I was around, like there's not a lot of talk about race and like black, white, whatever. It's like, dude, let's make some fucking money.
Yeah.
And that's what I noticed in the North. So like that's all you're doing. You're trying to hustle and make your money, and then when you move down here, it's like it's a little bit slower. I mean, obviously you got Miami and Jacksonville and stuff like that, but
Atlanta.
You have your bigger cities, but
that's kind of what helped me in Chicago. And then it's a lot more lax down in Florida for sure. I mean, Chicago is tense, dude. Everyone has a chip on their shoulder. They want to be a gangster or a badass or whatever.
Well, I mean, you're starting to see that a lot more just across the country and shit like that. I went and visited you twice.
Yeah.
The multiple places
There
I've
was
been in my life,
there was once that I went with my family, like I went with my mom and my stepdad, and there was once that I went up by myself, and that time was fun. That shit was fun, like, cause like, you know, like I love my parents and shit, but they're a lot more uptight than your parents are, and they just kind of and that was the one thing that I do, like, you know, that I always like thought was cool about your parents is that they like trusted you to like go live your life. Like, you're gonna do these things anyway, so you know we're gonna trust you to go do these things and like just don't fuck up too bad, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, my parents, they gave me all the trust in the world, but they're like, dude, if you fuck up and you get arrested or this and the other, like, you know right from wrong. I was like, sit your ass in jail. So they're like I'm gonna let you do whatever the fuck you want, but just let you know if you do X, Y, Z, this is gonna happen. I'm like, cool. So you're telling me just don't get caught. Fantastic.
Pretty much.
That's what your parent does.
Yeah,
They
that
don't tell you
shit.
not to do it. They tell you not to do
Yeah.
it.
No, that was definitely a fun time, man. But like things, like times like that, it's like where again, like when my parents were a little bit more uptight and wouldn't let me do as much. When I was able, you know, like going to my dad's house, I was, you know, he gave me more of that freedom to go do things. When I go hang out with you and shit like that, your parents would give us more of the freedom to go do things. And I feel like as a parent, like you gotta do that because it's gonna happen. Inevitably, it's gonna happen. Like your kid is gonna go do some shit that they shouldn't be doing, and like you might as well like entrust them. And I feel like that gives that child more of like the let me not fuck up. Like I'm gonna do some shit, but let me try not to fuck up.
Yeah, it gives them more of a confidence and more of the understanding of how life works.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone who's too sheltered, when they finally get exposed,
They don't
to
know
the
shit.
world,
Yeah. Like the Amish people,
I mean,
like they go fucking balls
Dude,
to the
they
fucking
got
wall.
Rumspringer, dude. They fucking
They go
they'll do
balls to the
acid
wall.
and coke and all that, and they're like, I'm going back to my farm. This is intense. Fuck. I just knock over a 7-Eleven with a fucking wagon wheel. What the fuck?
Bro, that shit is wild. I saw a few of those when I lived in Pennsylvania. Like, I want to say it was like for New Year's Eve or some shit like that. I went out with a few friends. We saw some people just fucking laid out on the road, just fucking.
But
Done. They're like, yeah, those are the Amish kids that went through their little thing, and they're just, you know, it's such a culture shock for them that they, like you said, they just try everything, do everything, fucking have a heart attack because they fucking OD'd on all these drugs and shit, and they just
the original
fucking,
Four Loko. They find out that's about.
real shit. So
But-
I definitely, you know,
have you gone?
Those are fantastic.
that shit was definitely good
But
stuff.
then-
But
Rubbing
Yeah,
alcohol
but
makes
I
it
think
fucking gasoline.
yeah, and then with a Red Bull on top. That's good. That's the original. And then people started having heart attacks, so they took away the fun. But just kidding. Heart attacks aren't fun, but the Four Locos were. But no, dude. And like, I think too when you restrict a kid, not even shelter them, but when you tell them they can't do something, they're probably gonna do like 10 times more crazy when.
Yeah.
well, I do 10 times more crazy. But like when my parents would tell me not to do something, it would like
You wanna
it
do
tempts
it.
you to like,
It wants
oh,
you
I
to
want
do
to.
it.
It's the
You're-
curiosity in you. It's
you're
like,
then,
huh,
like-
what's gonna happen if I do this? Like,
Yeah, and then like when you keep stuff and like I've had friends that like they'd ask their parents like, for example, like what drugs were, like, oh, what's cocaine? Oh, I'll tell you when you're older. I'm like, dude, I tell Elaine all the time. Like I straight up tell her, I was like, I tell her what it is. It's not good, blah blah blah. But like I let her know, so it's not like she's at a party and like, yeah, I threw some baby powder on my face and it wasn't baby powder. I don't know what the fuck that was. I'm like, well,
now you know. You found out the hard way. I guess.
yeah, I don't know.
That'd be some wild shit. But yeah. So moving around, you know, I mean, and me and Jacob did it later in life. I lived in Pennsylvania for a year. He lived in Washington State for a year. So we definitely encourage that shit. As far as like you had mentioned, the mindset up there is just like how we're gonna get money, how we're gonna do this.
Yep.
You do day trading now, so like, what was the steps that you took to kind of get to that point in your life where you like, fuck it, I'm gonna start kind of working, or not kind of working for myself and doing that.
Yeah, what made you transition or want to get into that in the first place?
Well, man, it actually started back in 2017. Well, actually before that, man. I think it was my junior year in college, and I had some grant money left over because I had like scholarship and all that shit. And at the time,
Smart guy over here.
so I had some grant money left over, and at the time, dude, that's when like medical cannabis was getting big.
Yeah.
Right. So, and like when it was like hitting the stock exchange. So like, I mean, I didn't know shit about investing. My dad taught me about mutual funds and all that shit. So, I had a couple thousand left over, and I invested into a company called Canopy Growth, and it was like, dude, pennies on the dollars, maybe like between like $1 and $3 a share. And so I just did it. I said, fuck it. I let it go. And then probably like a little bit over a year later, it blew up, man. And I made a fucking killing on it. And I was like, dude, I didn't have to do shit for this. I was like, that's pretty cool. And of course, being a fucking dumbass kid, I blew all of it. But like, I think at that point, I realized I'm like, all right, cool. Like I could trade $1 to make $3 kind of thing. And then at that time, that's when Bitcoin and all that stuff was getting big. So I kind of moved from the stock market and went to like crypto a little bit. Like that was before Ripple's lawsuit and all that shit. So I started investing in that. And the same thing has happened. I didn't have that big of a return. And then, so I was always doing little things here and there. And I was working. And then really when the pandemic hit, that's when I moved from Chicago back to here. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? And I was getting the unemployment plus like the extra $600 up there. And like Chicago's unemployment, dude, I think at one point I was getting like $1,200 a week and I had no bills. So I'm like, all right, let me try my hand at day trading. So I did it for a little bit. I think my first couple of trades, dude, I hit it big and then I like lost it all. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And then I started studying and reading articles and getting mentors and stuff like that. And then once I found out basically like what I knew at the time, like the inner workings of the market, I started making more money. And then I started investing more in myself, learning more about it. And then, that's kind of how it started, man. It was something that completely started by accident. I was like, I like smoking weed in college, so I was like, fuck, I'm going to invest in it. That's kind of how it worked.
Shit. I mean, what were you doing before that?
I was in the fitness industry, man. I was working at the time I was going to school. That's when I was working with Joe. All right. So I was doing that, and then after that, I started working for 24 Hour Fitness, and I was in the fitness industry. And
I love that gym, by the way.
Yeah, dude, I've got some stories for that one, man. There's some weird fucking people, dude.
I bet. Like the people that work there or just like
no, dude, like
the goers?
When you're freaking off topic, but when you work out in a gym, you see weird shit.
Yeah, for sure.
When you work at a gym, you see weirder shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I worked at Planet Fitness for a year, so I mean, I feel like that's the weirdest of the weird.
Yeah, dude, don't go into locker rooms.
Nah, bro. Oh my god, bro. Some
Fuck
dude
no.
was in the shower for 2 hours and literally flooded the whole fucking locker room.
Good for him.
I was like,
he's fun to swim, dude.
Bro, I don't know. I didn't even see him come in. I just got like after like an hour, I just started getting complaints. It's like, hey, there's a dude that's been in there. Like I got to the gym, went to the locker room. The shower was running, and I left, and he was still in there. So I went in there. I'm like, bro, is everything good in there? Like, you fine? He's like, yeah, I'm just showering. Like everything's good. I'm like, all right, well,
floor is really sticky afterwards.
Hurry up. But this was up in Pennsylvania, so. And then I came back like 30 minutes later. The water's fucking, I don't know. He had like the shower head pointing out towards the curtain. So like all the water is starting to flow out. It's starting to flow under the fucking walls into the locker room and shit. It took me I was the only guy, so I had to go in there and clean that shit up. And I pretty much had to like, hey, dude, like, get the fuck out. Like, what are you doing? Like, it doesn't take 2 hours to shower, brother. Like,
might have been homeless, dude. You never know.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, we've had a few people that, like, just get that little $10 membership and just go in there. And we literally see them go in there with their bag, go shower, brush their teeth. But they're in and out in, like, 30 minutes. It's like, hey, you got to do what you got to do. Like, we're not going to, I'm not going to. Exactly. Like, that's the cheapest membership.
Fuck yeah.
And it's like, I'm not going to fucking shit on you for that. Yeah, but like fucking 2 hours in the fucking shower, bro. Like, you're not that fucking dirty. Like, get the fuck out of here.
You know what he's done.
I guess you're right. We don't know what he's done, but
The floor is really sticky afterwards.
yeah, I don't know. But so you're still doing the day trading, right? That's still kind of like your main source of income at this point, or
It's not the main source anymore, man. Just because of the way the market is. So I'm actually in the software space right now. I still do it, but I kind of the market's not great right now. There's a lot of manipulation, so I kind of took it. I mean, it goes in fucking cycle. So where my mind was at was whenever 2021 when like everything started like kind of shit in the bed. Like the market, it looks good right now. It's being propped up, but I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do day trading on the side. I'm not gonna be as aggressive with it, but I'm gonna take all this extra cash I have after just to put it more into my investments for long term. And then once once the market turns again. Then I'll go back to more aggressive day trading, but it's more about preserving capital now than
that makes sense.
Than making it, just because there's not a lot of liquidity in the market, man. A lot of that free money that came around is starting to dry up. So there's a lot of people that started day trading in 2021 that felt like they hit gold because I mean you could buy anything and it was going up. 2020, 2021, and it kind of goes with what I've learned, and you can see trends in the market and stuff like that. So. Like I said, still do it, but it's more buying because I was trading options. I wasn't trading shares. So now it's like, all right, stuff is so beaten down from hedge funds and all this stuff where I'm like, all right, this is a buying opportunity for actual equity in a company. So I do that, and then I know 2024, 2025, whenever that rolls around, it's probably going to flip again. Or if there's a stimulus that's pumped in, that'll happen, and then that's when I'll go back to trading options and stuff like that. So now before where every day I would take a trade because like there was something winning every day. Now I just kind of look for perfect setups where it's like there's a good probability where I'm not going to lose my money and I can make a couple hundred here or there, 1,000 depending on what it is, and then I just roll that over. So that's what I do now.
You're just basically, like you said, setting yourself up to make money in the long term.
Yeah, because I mean there's different types of investing. So there's long-term investing and short-term investing. There's option traders. There's dividend investors. There's growth investors, speculative investors, which that's some of the most risky shit, but it's also some of the biggest payoffs. So you just got to find what your strategy one. Yeah, and when you learn more, then you can dabble into all of it. But I always tell people, I was like, find what kind of trader or investor you want to be. Fucking get really good at that, or as good as you can be, and then branch out. Because if you try, it's like in business, man. Like if you try to offer too many services at once or what have you, like you're going to spread yourself too thin, and you might just end up blooming. Yeah. So that's always my advice, because people always ask me like, what should I invest in or whatever, and I'm always like, what do you want your investing style to be? What the fuck does that mean? I'm like, well, that's number one.
You're like,
yeah.
Finance 101 over here.
And
shit.
You know what I mean? And if you have people, they're like, I don't want to learn all of it. Cool. Well, there's ETFs. You guys know what those are, right? Okay, so ETFs is like,
but explain for the people that don't.
Okay, so your ETFs are like they're giant funds. So like the S&P 500. So that is like the 500 biggest. Yeah, and then there's the Nasdaq or QQQ, which is a whole tech companies, and it's just a portfolio of a bunch of the biggest companies that are profitable into one fund. So when you invest into that, you're basically investing in all of them, and that's a surefire way to build your wealth. It's a slower way, but if you don't know shit and you don't want to learn shit, that's going to be the easiest way to do it.
So that's just basically like you said, you're investing into all of the the best Fortune 500 companies, and you're just like, all right, they're making money, so they're going to make money, I'm going to make money. It just might take
and it's just slower, and they have dividends, and they can grow, but like, and there's an ETF for any
Ford dividends, like Ford.
Yeah.
Dividends.
Yeah. And there's
stocks on board actually.
They're also a shit ton of money on their fucking electric car.
Well, I just fucking sold some stock from Ford. So.
Yeah. Also, but
listen, I'm lower level. I just fuck with Robinhood every now and then.
Dude, I mean, the thing with Robinhood, man, is it's not the best platform yet, but they're throwing stuff into it. Now, they got in some shit because...
That was like a year or so ago, right?
Yeah, because it's called like pay for order flow. They send these hedge funds order flow, so then like they get the scoop of what people are investing in. So if they're buying a lot of stock, they can short it.
And that's what happened with the GameStop and all that shit, right?
What's happening now is a result of that, because GameStop and AMC and those companies, it was all retail traders, man. It was like people like me and you, and they basically banded together and like, hey, let's squeeze the fuck out of these hedge funds. These hedge funds lost billions. There was like billion-dollar hedge funds that close shop because of it. So what happens now is you have, so your three biggest funds is BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard. And they actually own 89% of every company in the S&P 500. And then they're on trajectory to own 60% of single-family homes too in the United States.
Damn.
Yeah, so like they own fucking everything, and as far as I'm concerned, they run the fucking country because they throw so much lobbyist dollars. The world.
Yeah, because you saw how much they've between Morgan & Morgan, Vanguard, and like how much they've invested into Ukraine.
Yeah,
they said
like they're pumping money into wherever they want to pump money.
Yeah, which that I'm still trying to wrap my head around why the fuck we're sending so much money over there, like
because it's a bigger picture.
Yeah, because I was having a conversation with somebody about that, and I'm like, well, I mean, sure, whatever, I get it, war, blah, 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 global economy and shit like that, but like we're just like making up money and just fucking sending it over there, and it's like, does that not drive down the price of our dollar? Like,
that's what it's doing, bro. It's gonna cause hyperinflation.
And that's when it's like, okay, I know I'm not like a fucking financial genius, but like it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure that shit out.
Dude, it's simple supply and demand, dude. The more you have something, less valuable it is.
Facts. And it's
so
like, but that I'm just like, how does that help us in the long
It doesn't
run?
help us.
Exactly.
It helps the people up here. For example, we talk about BlackRock. The funny thing is, like I said, they own a lot of companies. So there's like Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, right? These companies that create all the fucking warheads and shit.
Yeah.
So they're literally destroying these fucking countries, and they're coming back saying like, dude, we'll help you rebuild. So they're making money to destroy them, but then they're going to make money. And then they're going to make money on rebuilding it. And like that's why like,
cruel world.
Dude, like that's why some politicians don't want war to go away.
Of course,
war
it's
is
a fucking moneymaker. It's a moneymaker. I mean, but you can see that through like, if you're a history person, which I like history. I think it's obviously the fucking. It's gonna tell you what's gonna happen in the past, in the future, in the right now. Like it tells you what's gonna happen because we have been repeating the same shit over and over again, and it's just so funny to me how people are like, oh, well, we'll fucking learn eventually. I'm like, we haven't learned for the past however many fucking thousands of years. What makes you think we're going to learn now? We have all this information, all this past data to fucking look back on, and we're doing the same shit. It's just in modern times.
Because it's not taught.
That was 100 years ago.
Yeah, it's not taught in school, man. They don't teach this shit in school. So, like, it's like that fucking cliche saying, like, if you don't learn history, you're deemed to repeat it. And people are always like, oh, that's so cliche, but it's fucking true.
But the thing is that, like, it's older people that I'm talking to about it that are, like, having, like, oh, well, yeah, we need to keep on sending money over there because it's going to help the global economy and it's a bigger picture thing and this, that, whatever. And it's like, no. Like, I have not been alive for that long, and it's like, it doesn't take me that long to figure it out.
Like, there is some old people who have one point just fucking cemented into their head. They will never change them. But that goes both ways. I mean, some of them have the idea of, oh, it's better for shit to change. But some people just don't like change.
Well, no, I'm all for change, but it's like the right type of change. Like change is, can be good or bad.
It should happen.
It should, but like it just depends. In what direction are we going in? Like,
but when there's billions, if not $1 trillion involved, that change isn't going to be what people want. It's going to become a money grab.
Yeah, of course.
And that's what we've seen throughout history. Like you're talking about how wars shape history, dude. The United States became the shit after World War II. That's what they did because we fucking won and we create the rules. Like that's what's happening. And then a lot of people don't know that, like, when fucking Richard Nixon took away the gold standard of the dollar, it was because we went to fucking Saudi Arabia and we're like, listen, we're gonna provide you guys with protection and weapons, and you're gonna use the petrodollar. Okay, cool. And we funded all that money into them and shit like that. And now we're still giving them the money, and they're like, well, fuck you, we're not gonna use the dollar anymore.
Yeah.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like. And that's why I think, like, I fucking hope I'm wrong, but, like, World War III is a real possibility because it creates a global shift.
Well, it's inevitable. I feel like that shit is inevitable. Like, especially with the way that the powers of the world are going and working and trying to gain the upper hand on each other, that shit is inevitable. It's going to happen. To what extent and how fucked up it's going to be, that's yet to be seen. But that shit, it is going to happen in our lifetime, and it's going to fuck some shit up, and hopefully it's just not like nuclear and it just doesn't fucking. Well, hopefully it's not like nuclear shit that it just, we just fuck up the whole world because, we're trying to fight for power, which, that's where it kind of seems like it's going towards.
Yeah,
but
I just hope these leaders are smart enough. Like, I feel like it's like, yeah, you can use it as a scare tactic, but like these leaders can't be that dumb. Like if you launch a nuke, another country's going to launch a nuke, which is going to mean another country, and then we're all going to be staring up and like, well, dude,
yeah,
like,
but the great fucking
we're all going to be looking into a fucking black sky of like, oh, this is the end.
Yeah, but the one thing that's going to trump intelligence is your hunger for power and your hunger for control. And even the smartest people, like even, guys like Elon Musk and the Zuckerbergs and the fucking Jeff Bezos of the world, when they first started coming up and becoming rich, everybody fucking loved them. Now that they're rich, billionaires and they're doing shit and they're having influence, everybody fucking hates them because it seems like they let their hunger for control and greed overpower even someone like Elon Musk, which he's probably one of the smartest people in the world. Even a lot of people are starting to kind of shy away from him because he's getting a little bit too out there, getting a little bit too like eccentric with the Twitter shit and with all that, and like people are not starting to like it. So his, what's it called? His popularity stock is starting to go down a little bit. I admire the guy. I mean, regardless.
Popularity stock, who cares? You can't trade those things.
I mean, but it fucking helps. I mean, it helps you, especially when you're in a position like that. I mean, with influence and him trying to.
Don't get me wrong, I'm sure it helps, but I mean, in his case, his popularity doesn't affect one. Unless it starts affecting his pockets, I don't think he gives a shit.
It's never going to affect his pockets, dude. And here's the thing. Like, people are always like, he didn't create Tesla. You're right. But he bought a patent that's been around for fucking 70-plus years that no one did anything with, and he created something out of it. Yeah. And it's like, if he did it dirty or whatever, but it's like, I didn't see anyone else doing anything with Tesla.
Real shit.
So it's like, yeah, he didn't create it, but like, he pioneered it. And then
produced it.
And people are like, well, it's overinflated. You can't make that much money off electric cars. You're right. That's why he has fucking wind farms and there's solar panels with Tesla and like all this other shit.
Yeah.
It's like Tesla's it's a tech company first and a car company second. Yeah.
It's an umbrella company.
And then
cars is just one thing under them.
And the smartest thing he did was years ago was he like got rid of his patent and instead he leases his technology out to people and he collects a royalty off of it. So anybody that uses that, it's like, well, dude, I hope your company does good because I'm going to get more money off of you. And I was like, that's smart, dude. It's a fucking...
Do you feel like you getting into stocks and day trading has like made you more like aware of what's going on politically and shit like that?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely, man. And so that's...
Because you kind of see the difference.
It's funny, man. Like you asked me when you texted me a couple days ago and you're like, how does day trading change your life the most? Financially... Yeah, it's I've made the most money I've ever made through day trading, and it allowed me to go out to nice dinners and vacations and buy ignorant ass shit and whatever. But the biggest thing, dude, is it opened my eyes because you can literally see corruption on an order book in the fucking stock market.
Yeah, and
then when you start trying to learn at what the best investments are and this, that, and the other, and then you see these politicians getting shit rich and you have the BlackRocks and Vanguards of the world, you can just see like how fucking rigged the system can be.
Yeah.
If no one catches it. And that's what's happening right now, man. Like the SEC right now is literally turning a blind eye to so much illegal shit in the market because they're probably getting kickback money. So like I think that was the biggest thing was one, it made me think about money different. Yeah. So I'm like, instead of buying a pair of Jordans or whatever the fuck, like it's like, okay, I can throw that money in the market and maybe in like a couple months, like it'll double, triple, quadruple, whatever. Yeah. So it made me think about the dollar differently. But then, like I said, as far as like the political, the political shit that you learn, because a lot of people think, oh, it's just money. What can you learn? Like you can fucking learn a lot, dude.
Which it's
staring or researching
into
it.
It is funny to me too because like I'm not really like I don't watch the news that often, but like every time I like flipping channels and I catch a little bit in the news, like you always hear like something about stocks and politicians, fucking getting insider trade information and doing this, that, whatever, but it just seems like it just gets blown over. Like they say it and they tell you and then nobody gives a fuck. And then they turn it to some fucking social justice shit and you need to fucking get behind this fucking movement or whatever the fuck, and it's like how dumb can people be? Like
really fucking dumb. And like I said, I've been dumb as shit on some stuff too. So it's not like I'm not calling people fucking dumb. I've been dumb on some shit too. But like,
well, I mean, like, sure, but like, for as long as I've known you, you've never been someone that's been like super like virtue signaling and like, yeah, let's go fucking stand behind something that we know nothing about and like,
well, dude, green energy. I'm gonna piss all you guys off. Green energy.
Here we go.
In theory, I love it. In theory, but the people are like, it's cleaner than coal, it's cleaner than oil. Listen, is it? Have you seen these fucking mines? Like, yeah, you need to drill a well and shit like that to get oil, but to get a little fucking battery, you got to destroy a shit ton of land.
Yeah.
Like for one fucking mineral. Yeah. There's like, what, 3 or 4 different minerals that are going in a battery? So it's like, people are like, oh, yeah, it's so fucking clean. Is it? Because the cleanest energy in the world is nuclear, so why the fuck aren't we doing that? Yeah, it can blow the fuck up, but guess what? I mean, people are going to blow themselves up anyway.
I mean... Listen, that shit, I mean, to your point, like, you know, you're saying that you could see, like, especially in, like, day trading and stocks and shit, you could see, like, corruption, like, in the books and shit like that. So, I mean, it's just, like, I feel like that just kind of goes to show you how fucking not even oblivious, just how easily people will just turn a blind eye to something just because it doesn't fit their agenda or it doesn't fit with what they want the world to be, essentially.
I think people know. I don't think, sure. I think a lot of people, they want to think the government and all these people have their best interest in mind, and nobody wants to, like, believe that, like, the highest authority doesn't give a fuck about me, because, like, that can give a sense of hopelessness, which you're talking about stocks and shit. All right, well, instead of, like, being like, oh, fuck, dude, I'm losing, like, I don't have a say. Okay, well, study what a politician invests in, because guess what? They make the policies.
Yeah. 9 out of 10 times you do that, you could follow trades in a way where you'll probably make the most money.
Dude, Moderna, right? Not even going to get into that story, but, like, I remember I invested in Moderna at $22 a share because I saw all these politicians investing into it. And obviously it got up to, like, fucking $500. Like, I sold off at $99, but, like, still, that's a good profit, but it's because of politicians. So it's like, it sucks, but it's like, follow what the fucking politicians, the big players do, man, because that's what's going to move the market. My couple thousand, $10,000 isn't going to move the market, but their billions will.
Yeah. Damn.
Totally
hey, free game right here. We should be a free game right now. Shit, tune in.
Story that I had, where I had, like, it wasn't a lot. It was 100 shares of some. It was actually just a research company, like not even a full pharmaceutical company.
It's the best companies ever invested, man.
They were, starting out, whatever. Stock didn't do nothing for like 2 years. I was like, fuck it, I sold it. COVID hits. Through the fucking
took off.
I would have made, like, if I just kept my measly 100 shares, I could have probably made like anywhere from 20 to 50 G's.
If not more, dude.
Like, son of a bitch.
Because what those companies are too, man, like, you always have to look at the available shares too, because theoretically, like, so say like a fucking company, biotech, happens all the time in biotech. Say it's trading for $1 or $2 a share, and they only have 6 million shares available. Realistically, someone can come over with $12 million and buy up that whole float and own the company. And then when people want shares, so they can be like, well, I'll set my sell price for $10. They have to pay it if you own all the shares. So, like, I don't know how often you guys paid attention, like 2021, when, like, these companies that you've never heard of were increasing by like 1,000% in a day. That's how it did it, man. Someone just bought up the whole float and they're like, yeah, so it's $200 company. I think today it's worth $15. And then it fucking shoots the fuck up.
Damn.
That's what happened with GameStop.
Yeah.
That's what happened with GameStop.
Damn. Fucking dirty game.
And it's like,
dirty out here.
and like, but like, and like a lot of times it's called like a hostile takeover when someone, like, some person does that. Yeah, dude. So like, it was funny. Me and my wife were, that movie like Pretty Woman with like Julia Roberts and like Richard Gere, and like when he was doing, that's what he fucking did for a living. He would do hostile takeovers of companies, and she's like, "That's what the fuck it is." Like, yeah, like Dan Blazarian, his dad. That's what his fucking dad did. Yeah. So I mean, it's but then, like, that's the corruption I'm talking about. So it's a pump and dump scheme, but if the SEC's not gonna call on it, like, all right, yeah, dude, I'll jump in.
Might as well, right? Fuck it. Hey, listen, take advantage of it where you can. Fuck, because they're gonna fuck you over when they can. So, So, I mean, let's get into something a little bit more controversial. So, I know, like, all these things, you've been, the stocks, keeping up with politicians, all that shit. What's your favorite conspiracy theories right now going on? Like, if you had to...
Dude, my favorite one, man, which, like, I'd actually love, which everyone is sold, is the fucking JFK assassination. I want to fucking know, dude, because, like...
Pretty sure I put that on there.
You did.
Yeah, I was about to say. That's not
dude,
that's like an all-time. Like,
it is, man, because it's like... I don't know, man. I remember watching, like, the documentaries, and, like, even just from how they said, like,
just the evidence. Like,
well, dude, the I don't know, the fucking science, like the calculations of the shot, like they've done like the calculation. They're like, that is impossible for one person to make that shot. Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, that alone.
Precise, like he had to be in where it claimed it was from. It's even like, what was the movie about the sniper that killed like all the people?
American Sniper.
How the fuck did I forget that? All right, American Sniper. Even I'm pretty sure he had even said he couldn't have made that shot.
Because they say like the way it entered his head and hit his fucking leg, they're like, that doesn't make sense from a calculation standpoint. And then you see, like I said, go into politics, man. Like I think JFK would, if he actually got to play out, I think he would have been one of the best presidents because like he was trying to bring everyone together. He was trying to stop division, and you know what? Division division makes money.
Yeah, it
does.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of like why I'm so like. When people say like they're so either one side or the other, like the right is the right side or the left is the right side.
They both fucking suck.
Exactly. It's like, and that's the shit that it just gets me. It's like how did like as an adult, like I understand like if you're a kid coming up learning this shit, you're just figuring this shit out. Like you get easily manipulated. But as an adult, as a grown human that you've lived 30, 40, 50 years on this world, and you're still like, like go politics and all that shit. It's just like. How? Like,
don't get me wrong, dude. I think politics are important to know
for sure
because it's like that's what runs our lives. Mm-hmm. But the people that aren't involved in politics, guess what? I hate to tell you, man, but politics are still fucking running your life because you're dealing with inflation, you're dealing with deflation, so you have a little bit more money, or like vice. But that's all political decisions. So with somebody that says like, anything, like I said, people are like, why the fuck are certain goods going up? Well, because oil, like. A lot of people think like oil is just to fucking run your cars or whatever. It's like, no, dude, like plastic's an oil product. Fucking some soaps are oil products. Like there's so many petroleum products. And guess what? That's tied to the price of oil.
Yeah.
But that's politics. But conspiracy, I mean, there's a lot of.
Politics is the damn government, and the damn government killed JFK.
Here we go.
Dude, and like I said, man, and like. And we before we filmed, we've mentioned RFK, and it's like, dude, he has a lot of the same viewpoints. He has different ones, but he has similar viewpoints to JFK. And not only has the Republican Party fucking blackballed him, but the Democratic Party blackballed him too. Mm-hmm. Why?
Because he's not good for business. He's not good for business.
Plenty of interviews saying like, if they kill me, it's because they know I know all these things.
He's not good for business. That's why. I mean, essentially, and that was why they got our JFK, because he was trying to fucking bring us together and stop all the fucking all the division and all that shit. And that's just not, like you said, that's just not good for business. It doesn't make anybody money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and for as much as, I'm all for people, hey, go make your money, go do what you got to do and shit like that. Like, at a certain point, it's like, it's not all about money. Like, yeah, you got to make your living, you got to make a life, you all that shit. But then people let it take control too much and, like, control their decisions too much. And then, again, that's when you see assassinations. That's when you see people doing greedy shit, dirty shit, grimy shit to get over on somebody because this person, my rival, is going to make more money than I am, and then that's going to give them more power. So I can't let that happen. So let me, go behind here and make a few moves and get this person out of the way.
Yeah. And politics, man, it's just meant to pull on your heartstrings too, man.
Of course, especially with all the social shit.
Yeah, because we can call politicians stupid, like, right? Like, people are like, oh, AOC is fucking stupid. Oh, Ted Cruz is stupid. Well, like,
they're massive manipulators.
Like they say fucking stupid shit, but like, is it on purpose?
Of course.
Because guess what? We're talking about it.
Of course, and that's the one thing.
Yeah. I mean, they always know.
Especially during like COVID time and 2020 and all that shit. Like, everyone was at home, not being able to go out, cooped up. So I mean, you're fucking taking this shit in 24/7. The people that, and I don't even want to say like annoy me, but like concern me the most are the people who have the news on 24/7 and do not watch anything else. And not even that, like, if you're gonna watch the news, at least like watch all news. Like,
dude, I think all news is bullshit. Cause like,
but at least you're getting like at least both sides of it. People that are just sticking to one side of the news, it's like, well, now not only are you just watching the news, but now you're just filling your mind up with just one side of it, and they're just telling you what they want you to hear, and you're not really getting the other side. You're not getting other perspective of shit. So, like, your perception of what's going on is so fucking skewed that, like, Do I think the world's in the best place? No. But do I think the fucking world is gonna we're on fire, we're gonna blow up, and everyone's fucking killing each other every day? No. I think like we're somewhere. I do think we're a little bit more leaning towards like people ripping each other's heads off, but I don't think it's like so overboard to where people have to fucking panic and like. So one thing that I've always got growing up is that I gotta worry about because of my skin and my hair and all that shit, and I'm just like, listen, I've had my fair share of running with the police and shit like that. Anytime I've had a bad run-in with the police is because I was doing something wrong. Now, I'm not saying that there's not any fucked up police out there that are looking to fucking fuck your day up because they've had a bad day or whatever. But like more times than not, and I see this with just in any situation in life, if you come with respect, you will get returned with respect. There's been a handful of times in my life where I've been respectful and people are just disrespectful to me because of whatever fucking reason. But that's been a handful of times out of the almost 30 years of life that I've lived on this earth. So it's like, if you just sit here and just listen to the news all day, your mind, your perception of what the world really is going to be so skewed one way that you think everyone in the world's out to fucking get you. When in reality, no one really gives a shit about you. So like,
and the biggest thing about the news, man, is like why I said like all news is bullshit, is because like before Trump got in office, like there was a bill passed that decriminalizes propaganda in the fucking media. Mm-hmm. So now you can literally put propaganda and like nothing can come of you. So it's like, is that fucking true? It's like the fucking back in COVID when like Joe Rogan was on and they fucking put a weird hue on the thing to make him look sick, and he's like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Well, I mean, and even still like on some of like, because he's on Spotify now, but even some of like when he has like controversial guests on, they talk about COVID, or they'll have that little information tab saying, you know, COVID information here if you know whatever, when they're giving their opinion and shit. It's just like
that. But TikTok, you banned one of my fucking snippets again. Because to just label something as, because you've seen it, it's not just, for instance, my snippet, but any other person who, any claim against what they want you to listen to, false information. Or, it could be literally someone saying, like, oh, this is what happened to me, false information. No, that's what happened to them. Just because you don't agree with it does not make it false information.
And people aren't capable of civil debates anymore, man.
No.
I think that's the huge thing, is like, dude, I've talked to so many people that I disagree with. I'm like, I'm going to hear you out. I want to hear everyone's viewpoint. Because one, either I learned something new, or I get something to laugh about later on when I go home with myself. And I know it's the same, dude. I know people probably think like, dude, that was the fucking stupidest shit I've ever. Because like I say some stupid shit, dude, but like
we have fucking 180 episodes of us saying dumb shit.
Yeah, but I think that's the problem, dude. Because for example, like if you had two people, one person believes in abortion, one person doesn't. They're not going to fucking talk about it. They're going to yell at each other. Yeah. And then they might fight. And it's like, or you can talk about it and see where they're coming from and just fight after. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, too. Like, yeah. Well, that's the thing, because, like, I'm someone that I'm very, like, with just a lot of things in life, let alone politics. I'm just very, like, don't give a fuck. Like, I'm listening. Like, I keep myself informed for the most part, so I at least know what's going on. But, like, there's very few things that I take a super hard stance on that I'm not going to budge from. So, like, when I'm talking to people, like, to your point, like, I invite that shit. Like, talk to me about it. Like, why do you feel like that? Like, because 9 times out of 10, I don't give a fuck. I just want to know, like, what's going on through your head to make you feel like that. But even with family, with people that, you know, I'm starting to get to know and shit like that. Like, I've had people ask me, like, well, who did you vote for in 2020? And that's going to be their base.
They're going to fucking hate you no matter what it is.
Base their decision off of me. It's like, we've been talking, like, maybe for, like, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. I'm a pretty good guy. Yeah, I could be an asshole sometimes, but, like, for the most part, I'm a pretty good guy. Now, this one thing that we're going to talk about right now, if I don't answer it correctly, that's going to change your whole perception of me.
A whole different viewpoint.
That's going to change your whole perception. Not that I've done anything to you personally, not that I've attacked you personally, not that I've done anything that was sketchy. The fact that if I vote one way or another, that will change your whole perception of me. And then you might not even want to associate with me anymore. Like, what type of shit is that?
And you know, dude, like, I actually love that you said that, because it's like, dude, some people voted for Trump because tax breaks. They might tell you, like, I hate that fucking guy, fuck that guy, blah, blah, but I voted him because I want tax breaks. And on the other end, people would be like, yeah, dude, I don't like Biden's financial policy, but you know what? He's going to protect, you know, rights or, you know, what have you. And I can be like, okay, cool. So you don't believe everything. But like you said, if you have a fucking, especially the far-leaning fucking politics. If you have a far-right fucking Republican, and you're like, yeah, I voted for Biden, they won't even like it. They'd be, you fucking idiot, blah, blah. And vice versa. Yeah, I voted for Trump, and you have someone far, you fucking idiot. And it's like, all right, well.
Yeah, you don't want to hear me out. You don't want to hear what I did.
Well, they don't want to hear that shit because it doesn't fit. Again, it doesn't fit their narrative. It doesn't fit what they believe is right in the world and what's wrong in the world and shit like. And again, I've had from people that I've just met to family that have known me my whole fucking life that have like, it feels like that they're fucking questioning my intelligence or like saying that I'm not doing my research or whatever the fuck it is, or I need to inform myself. That's the one that fucking gets me. Oh, you need to inform. You need to educate yourself.
And those are the people that read fucking
but I'm not.
News.
Like, that shit. That's the one that gets me.
Here,
Exactly, and it's like, and I came up with my own opinion on it. Now I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that you're wrong. But this is from what I've gathered. This is what I see. This is how I feel about it. It's all shady at the end of the day anyway. So like, if you're, again, like I said before, like, if you're gonna, especially with politics, if you're gonna fucking plant your flag and die on that hill, like, you might need a little bit more help than I do, because like that shit is like, it's beyond me sometimes. That shit is,
to
you know.
Zach's point, people don't know how to debate. People can't speak to each other without fucking wanting to.
Not even not even a debate, dude. Just fucking have a conversation. Because like I said, like, there's nothing wrong with voting for fucking Trump because you want finances, and nothing wrong for fucking voting for Biden because you want social justice. Like, but you will never know that if you don't talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Biden's done fucking shitty things have happened because of Biden, and shitty things have happened because of Trump.
Shitty things are gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, because dude, it's like there was still poor people under Trump, and there's still a lot of protections not being have around, like, you know, like the gay community and stuff like that with Biden in office. So it's like, why don't you guys just fucking talk? And then if they say some dumb shit that offends you, then like, dude, get the gloves and go fight out back then.
Yeah, honestly.
No.
Honestly.
I like watching fights.
Hey, sometimes you gotta fight. Sometimes you gotta duke it out. And that's the thing. That's one thing, especially like, hey, listen, we've all fought. I fought with some of my friends. Hey, all it takes is 20 minutes later, we fucking blow off some steam.
It's a long fight, dude.
Fucking smoke some fucking weed and talk it out. Oh yeah, we're good. Like,
or to wake up the next day if you're belligerently drunk.
Yeah, I've done that, man. I think the biggest time I've been an asshole when I was fucking drunk. I'm like, I don't know who that guy was. That was.
But I mean, that's what happens when you drink a little bit.
I don't remember a thing of it.
It's usually over something stupid. Like, that's my fucking shoe. It has my name written in it. You can't fucking read.
Oh, that's a valid point.
I mean, it was a little stupid. Like I said, I mean, when me and Jacob almost fought, it was just on some dumb shit. But like, again, we fucking talked about it, got over it, moved on. That's my fucking brother. Like, I'll fucking take a bullet for this man. So like,
it's just that night. I was like, what is it?
I think that's guys too, dude.
It definitely is, because girls are.
The girls are not like that.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before, that girls are like fucking mental ninjas, and they'll fucking plant little fucking seeds of fucking.
They
like,
try to ruin your whole life, and then
for
your
real.
kids' life, and then their kids'
real
life.
shit.
I'm like,
it's like, oh my god, like what the fuck? Like, it's not that big of a deal.
I applaud you. That is brilliant. You'd be a fantastic evil mastermind. I'm just gonna fight, and then we'll go like have a beer after.
Real shit.
Because like, and I told my wife this because she's like, I don't understand, guys. How can you guys just fucking fight and wake up the next morning and go? I was like, because this is my belief. You guys can tell me I'm wrong. I was like, most violence with dudes happens when you prolong a fight. Because like
it builds up.
Because yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, if me and you got into it, if we fought right then and there, it could be a bad fucking fight, but there won't be anything after it.
Yeah.
But if you stop it, then it's going to be building. You're going to be at home like, fuck that motherfucker, blah, blah. And then like it might grow to be like, well, now I'm so fucking mad, I'm going to take a gun to school and kill somebody.
Real shit.
Like if you just fight, because like at the end of the day, especially if it's a dumb fight, like we've had all kinds of fights where people are like, dude, I could beat your ass. It's like, well, if you fight, you will fucking know that.
Yeah. It's like,
and then if you don't beat my ass, never fucking talk to me again, because we'll run it back. And if you do beat my ass, I'll be like, well, dude, you're about it.
Run it back.
Yeah, I'll run it back. It's like, he's like, that's a fluke. I fucking slipped on ice in the middle of summer.
Oh, shit. I mean, getting into that though, like, what is your take on gender roles? Because especially nowadays, like, there's a lot of blurred lines in that, and I'm someone that I'm kind of I lean more towards just two people. You know, if you like each other, you figure out what each other brings to the table. You figure out each other's strengths and weaknesses, and wherever your strength is, that's what you bring to the table. Whether it is, you're the breadwinner or whatever the case may be, and then whatever the person's weaknesses is, and then you just kind of work on it like that. Do you feel like you lean more like kind of in the traditional, like where the man takes care of this, woman takes care of this, or are you more like, let's sit down, who's good at what, and let's figure it out from there?
I guess kind of the modern man. I mean, my wife is like so good at what she does with work, and she makes good money and everything. So like, obviously, my goal is to have so much passive income where she doesn't fucking have to work, or she chooses what to do. So like, I'm traditional in that way, whereas like I would love to get to the point where she doesn't have to work. Mm-hmm. But I also recognize the fact that she's a fucking rock star. What she does, she brings in fucking fantastic money. I bring in my money, and we could build something fantastic together. I guess this is the financial part of a gender role. And if someone makes more money than the other, they take on more of the burden. If things flip, then that. And we've had issues with that in the past, but I feel like we have a good understanding now, and it works as best as it can. As far as the financial. But like I said, I would like to have the traditional part where like she can go she loves plants and shit. Like, dude, go open up a fucking plant garden or something. Like that would be awesome if I can do that, which I think will be a reality one time. Yeah. But right now we both, bring in our money, and we're both fucking hustlers. And right now it's like, okay, we're going to grind towards something, and then we're going to, we're off on sunset.
Once you get to that point, then you're like, all right, we take a step back, reevaluate. Like, all right, maybe we did get to this goal. You either set a new goal or you said.
Yeah, and I think right now, dude, like, unless like someone in the house is making $500,000 plus, you kind of need both people to work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
At least how we all live life.
Yes. When it comes to cooking, I love my cooking. I think I'm a fucking fantastic chef. Don't touch my fucking kitchen. I will cook it up. She can cook seafood good. I don't eat seafood, and she likes my food. So like, that's my fucking kitchen. That's my dojo.
Get the fuck out of
here. I love cooking, dude. Cooking in the gym is a stress relief. Like whenever people are like, "What's a fun fact about you?" I was like, "Dude, I love cooking."
What's your favorite dish to cook?
I love cooking Italian food. I cook everything from scratch.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm learning some new shit today. Fuck, I didn't know that.
Dude, I love it, man. It's because and usually I'll fucking get high as shit. So it's like, wow, I know this is good, but this is even better now. And I can just like decompress. And then like, my wife's sitting there and just like, wow, this is fucking great. Like, you're going to make me fat. Fucking stop doing it. And I'm like, no.
Does she go to the gym with you? Does she go to the gym with you, or work out together?
Sometimes she does, depending on our schedules. But we'll always take a break in the middle of the day and like take a walk around our neighborhood. Talk shit. Yeah. Say someone's like car looks like shit, or their house,
Shit. What would you say is the most important part to like a healthy, successful relationship?
It's cliche, but communication. Because when me and Chloe break down our relationship, it's because we both are fucking hard-headed in our own ways.
Yeah. And
when we don't communicate, things get terrible. And then like we'll fucking yell, or like I'll just like go out of the room, she'll go out of the room. But then when we come back together and we actually talk about everything, we're always stronger. So super cliche, but I truly believe communication. I think that's why a lot of my relationships in the past have faltered, because I'm like, I'm fucking right, you're wrong, stop trying to change me.
Yada. Yeah, I mean, that's usually how it goes. I would definitely agree with that. Communication, honesty, but I feel like those kind of like fall hand in hand. Yeah, so I would definitely agree with that. I'm not in any successful relationship right now, but most of my relationships have broken down because one or the other was being too stubborn. They don't want to talk about shit. To your point, like, don't change me, this, that, whatever. Yeah. And I'm not perfect. I'm not saying it's always the other person. I'm at fault sometimes too. I'm at fault sometimes too. But I would agree with that for sure. So
yeah, I'm beating the odds right now. I'm in a successful relationship, so fuck you.
Yeah. Grow the fuck up, dude.
A single tear fucking comes down my face. But I mean, it's difficult. I mean, because like, women and men are just two different fucking creatures. Like, for as much as like, yeah, we need food, water, all the simple shit, the necessities to survive. Like, the way that men and women's outlook on life, especially I grew up with women around me, so like it's just like night and day kind of. Like, I don't want to say like one is more right than the other in their perspective, but like, again, like, it definitely takes a team, whether it's two people, whether it's your family, to fucking make it work, because you might see something, there might be a situation where I see something one way in a more logical, just kind of this makes sense type of way, but sometimes everything isn't just black and white. There is situations where there is gray area, and you have to kind of have that, be more in touch with your emotions in that side. And obviously women do a better job of that, generally speaking, that they are more in touch with that side of themselves. So they're able to see, past certain things sometimes and not just look at things as black and white. So...
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Like, I think I struggle in a relationship, like, with our little one, dude. Like, I'm just not a super emotional guy. Yeah. Especially with all, like, and she always asks me, she's like, why is that you have to get more, in touch with emotions, stuff like that. But it's like, with everything that's happened in my life, dude, it can make you fucking cold. Yeah. I don't know. So sure. I think I'm not as emotional as I need to be, and she does a fucking fantastic job at picking up that slack. Mm-hmm. So it's like, when Elena's like, I want to say she had a bad day because, like, I can make her feel better too. But, like, as far as, like Elena will, like, hit her head on a fucking counter. I'll be like, hey, there's a counter there. And then fucking Chloe will be like, hey, asshole. Like, show a little bit of compassion. I'm like, sorry. But when Elena's fucking scared of something, she runs to me and she's like, well, my fucking dad will kill you. So, like, I'm good.
Which, I mean, but, yeah, again, there's the balance of that. Like,
and that's a good part about relationships too. Like, that's your strengths and weaknesses. Your wife is clearly stronger in that aspect, so she picks up the slack.
Dude, I suck with emotions sometimes. Like, I don't know, man. Like, and I think my problem is too, especially with the little one, is like, I struggle with this. Like, even before me and Chloe got married, it's like, if it's not a big deal to me, it's not a fucking big deal. Yeah. And I can recognize that, but like, it's still how I feel. Yeah. And I think I need to get better at that. When she's like,
it's hard to like see past it. I've had those issues too, where it's like, there's no issue. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I feel like we all struggle with that here.
This is how you're making me feel, though. And I'm like, I feel fine. What are you talking about?
For real. Yeah, that's been my issue, too. It's like, a lot of shit just fucking brushes off my fucking shoulder. It's like, all right, like, that happens fucking 50 times a day. Like, why the fuck am I going to be upset about it? Like, but again, like, different people. Exactly.
It's little things that add up to then it's a huge problem. And you're like, fuck, now I have to do this.
Yeah. It's like, so like, I'm trying to learn that the little things matter. I sometimes be like, oh, you stub your toe, and fucking dad's dead. Like, it's not a big deal. And they'll be like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? I'm like, oh, that's just a fact. I don't fucking know. I was like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, and then it's like, well, she's 9. I'm like, fuck, you're right.
Good point. Good fucking point. Damn. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That shit is, I'm not going to lie. I don't know. I mean, sore subject a little bit, but like, because my mom had called me and told me, I was at a friend's birthday actually when he told me that your dad had passed. Yeah. And I was like, damn, like, that's just wild how shit just fucking happens like that. Oh, yeah,
dude. It's quick.
Yeah. And like, I mean, I grew up with you guys. Obviously, that's your dad. So like, I guess like, what was your like range of emotions when it happened? Like,
well, I watched him die. So dude, it was bad, but I was mad, dude, because like, the hospital sucked. Like, it was weird, man. The whole situation, it was like they were like, because he had sepsis, so it was like a blood disease or whatever, and he was starting to develop clots. I'm like, all right, cool. So then the fucking doctor's like, well, we can give these medicine to break up his clots and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, well, why the fuck are we still talking? Like, go fucking do it. Yeah. And they did it, and it made him clot more. And I'm like, huh. But there's like so many nurses and doctors running out, and they're like, oh, did you scan this? Oh no, I forgot to scan it. I'm like hearing this, and I'm like, what the fuck? So then like after he passed, I'm like, one of you motherfuckers fucked up somewhere. I was like, none of this makes, so like I was really angry. Yeah. And like I really didn't process it until probably about like 2 years after he died. For real. I got in a fight with my friend. I think that's but Chloe's like, I think that's when you processed it. I'm like, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so like the first one I was mad, and like he was in hospice, and like they told us a bunch of lies, like, oh, he's gonna get morphine every hour on the hour, Ativan, so he's comfortable and he doesn't feel pain. Fucking an hour would go by, 2 hours, 3 hours, and I'm just like, the fuck. And the nurse would come in, I'd see her sit on her fucking ass texting, and like she's like, well, we're busy, we're doing everything. I was like, bitch, no, you're not. I was like, I'm literally watching you fucking text right then and there. I was like, And I was mean. I don't give a fuck. And like I told her, like,
it makes sense.
And she was heavy set. I'm like, I'm about to see if pigs can fly. I'm gonna throw your fucking ass out this window. And then everybody in the room, Joe was in the fucking room, and everyone's just like, I was just pissed. I was like, get the fuck out. And then the chaplain comes in. Everything happens for a reason. I was like, you need to get the fuck out of here.
Damn. Yeah.
So it was just a lot of anger.
Yeah. There's just sometimes it's like just shut the fuck up. Like what are you saying right now? Like,
and then when people were like, the worst things. Everything happens for a reason. I know how you feel. Oh, you do? Oh, your dad's dead? No. Oh, you get to go see him? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit was, man, that shit was wild. And like me and you never really talked about it, but that shit was.
Oh, I don't have a problem talking about it. It's just.
It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. That shit was.
It's one of those things that no one could tell you, like,
oh, yeah.
I'm feeling the same, or they can give you condolences, but that's about it.
Yeah, and like I'm not like, there's some people that jump people's shit, and like, because I've had like when I went back to Chicago after and like was working, people like, no, how you feel, man? My grandma died. I'm like, it's not the same, man, but I appreciate you.
Yeah.
No, get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
It is what it is, man.
It is. He was a good guy. He was a great guy for sure. But I mean, and that's one thing that I always like. And it seems like you got that from him, is that you say what the fuck you want to say when you're going to fucking say it. And that's something that I've always fucking loved about you, is that you do not give a fuck. You will fucking let it fucking fly. Sometimes Chloe's like, you need to reel that back. I'm like, or I don't. I was like, I got like this many friends. I'm like, that's probably too many. I'm good. I don't need that many. Bro, I mean, my same friends are the same friends that I've had, obviously, since 4 years old, from me and Abner since 4th grade, and then the same friends that I had in high school, which is the same fucking 5 friends that I had. Like,
you only need a fucking handful of good friends, dude.
Real shit.
That's all you really need, man.
Jacob is probably one of the newer additions, and me and him knew each other in high school. We just weren't really friends then for whatever reason. So,
it's because you stole his shoe.
I was cooler than Eric, so I just figured I wouldn't.
That's maybe something like that. I always did think like you, but I like,
dude, that shit is so, dude. So I'll say this. I think it's always funny how like when we're younger, we always like we judge people more than we do now. It's like dude, I'd never be that guy's friend. Like, look how he looks. Like, how does he look? It's like a fucking idiot.
I just felt like he didn't fuck with me for whatever reason. Like, for whatever reason. But I kind of had that complex growing up that I just felt like people did not like me for whatever reason. And Jacob was one. Like, me and him have mutual friends. Like, one of our best friends are mutual friends. And that's how we moved in together. And that's when we really became friends. But, like, for whatever reason, I'm just like, yeah, he probably just doesn't really fuck with me like that.
People actually thought, like, me and Eric were brothers. Like,
yeah.
We both worked outside and said we were dark as shit. We were working out and walking around, and they're like, you guys brothers? It's like, nah.
That's my dad.
But, yeah, I don't know. That shit is weird. But also, fun fact, you have a badass fucking last name, too.
I do.
And that's going to be the title of this episode. It's going to be the Boss Hour or Boss Up.
I love it.
Shit like that.
I love it. Yeah,
I was already thinking of that on the way here.
So I take 8% royalties on using that name. Just letting you guys know.
Hey, you ain't going to be making shit.
If you say that fucking word.
You're not going to be making shit now. We're trying to make fucking royalties ourselves. So. We're working on it. We're working on it. But,
hey, dude, I think Gary Vee took like 200 plus episodes before he fucking blew up.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, who was it? I think it was you that sent me a fucking something on Instagram that this dude was working on whatever he was working on for like 8 years or some shit like that before he had his first viral video. And like, you know, it was essentially the premise of the video is like, keep on fucking grinding. If you believe in something, keep on fucking doing it. You know, all that fucking shit.
It's going to be when you least expected, the one thing that took off to where now the guy is living like the life he wanted.
Absolutely.
From it. He's doing what he wants every day still. And making money from it now.
Yeah.
And that's basically what we hope to turn this into one day. Is doing the same shit. We have fun doing it regardless. If it makes money, that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, we're still doing it. Like,
real shit. I mean, we've been doing it for what, 4.5, a little over 4.5 years now. So
it's been that fucking long.
It has been.
Dude, I remember when you told me that you were first starting it, man.
2019, March the 25th at the bottom.
Holy shit.
That's our first. That's when we posted our first episode onto what, SoundCloud, fucking Apple Podcasts, fucking Spotify, all that shit.
MySpace.
Real shit. It feels like we've been doing it for that fucking long.
Dude, MySpace was the best platform of social media.
No, that's when the time that I went to go visit you fucking by myself, that's when fucking, what's his name, Nick, he's a fucking, I don't remember his last name. Fucking cool ass dude though. I always remember him. But he helped me fucking spice up my MySpace page. And all that shit. Help me edit that shit.
What's your last name? I'll give a fuck. You're like, you're MySpace Nick.
Real shit.
That's the funniest thing. Back to like what we were talking about guys and girls being so different. Girls remember all the details, like people's names, where they're from. This, that.
Like,
who's that guy's name? I don't know. That's my brother. Like, I love
real
that guy.
shit.
You see someone in the gym like every day, you dap him up. Like, who's that guy? I don't know. I have no idea what his name is.
Real shit. No, I mean even at the gym, like there's
a couple
big
people.
fucking buff dude. You know him? He came up to me a few times after, like when I first started working out after I tore my Achilles. He's like. I think we met at like Crunch or something like that, and then he went over to 24 Hour. He recognized me, so like we started talking. He's like, "Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. I was wondering what was going on." It was like I was wearing my boot at the time, so like, and obviously I see. And then we started talking about injuries and shit. He's got to be like, maybe like 15, 20 years older than me, but like cool as fuck. Like, cannot tell you his name. Don't know his name. I just know he's a big buff dude, and he's got a Florida State tattoo. That's all I really know. But he's cool as fuck.
Not that cool, dude.
Right? I was like, yeah, that might be, I don't know, you might be a little sus, but yeah, you're a cool dude, so. Especially because
it's true, man. It's like we're on that topic too, is like life events. Like, I never ask questions, dude. Because, like, I don't want people prying in. So, like, someone's like, oh, yeah, dude. I'll tell my wife, like, yeah, so-and-so lost their job. Why? I don't fucking know. Did they find another one? I don't fucking know. Oh, yeah, so-and-so's getting married. Yeah, where at?
It's me.
In a fucking church or a house? I don't know.
Yeah. Is it really? Oh, shit.
Fucking Daniel.
Oh, shit. Are we talking about the same dude? That blonde hair type? Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude. FSU Daniel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is him. Oh, shit.
Fucking Daniel.
Wow, look at that. There you go. The power of
Cool
social
guy,
media.
cool guy.
He is a cool guy. Cool dude. He looks intimidating as fuck, but once you talk to him, he's fucking chill as fuck. He's been through some shit. That is one thing, though. Like, I will talk to people. Like, I don't engage in conversation a lot, but if someone comes and talks to me, I'll fucking. Oh, yeah. They ask me questions, and I'll fucking tell them anything. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, I've been going through some shit, this, and this. Like,
got AIDS, dude. It's cool, though. Just like baby AIDS, dude. They're like not serious. Take some fucking ibuprofen or something.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, dude. TikTok's gonna fucking kick this video off. Becky doesn't have AIDS. That's misinformation. Ibuprofen doesn't solve that.
Oh, shit. Like, fuck.
Yeah. It's gonna kill everyone.
Oh, fuck.
Dude.
But yeah, man.
It's probably Sunny D.
Fun times. I think we're good. I mean, do you got anything else that you want to get off your chest? That you want to say? Any?
You want to tell the people?
Yeah.
Some shit.
I don't think they're ready. We'll have to say that for next time.
Hey, I was about to say we'll save that for another episode. This shit was fucking. We gotta have you on a few more times. Hey, even if like, cause I'm down for that.
Okay.
Like, I was about to say we can come to your house and fucking set this shit up and do it.
I got an office, so
yeah, that would be fucking. We make a day out of it and shit. Cause like I do want to do that more. Like obviously like. My barber, you know, he's going to let us come in here and do that shit. But I do want to start taking it and start moving it and going to people and shit like that. Because the space that we have right now, like, it's space. It works, but it's not really ideal. So, you know, we have the microphones. We need to get, obviously, more cameras and shit like that. But we have enough equipment. And it's not too much that it's a hassle to pick up and go take it places and shit like that.
Right.
So,
Cord and
yeah.
mics.
You know, we got to figure out the production part a little bit. I'm working on it, but but you know, yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, I wouldn't mind going out to the beach, chilling, and then recording a podcast. That would be fucking lit. So
just gotta. Elena might fucking pop in the room for a
even
surprise thing.
Bear comes in there all the time and just fucking will just. And then just fucking walk away. It's like, all right. Real shit.
I'll
So,
see you guys later.
yeah, and I'm sure, I mean, I only met her that one time at your wedding, but from what you tell me, she seems like she says some wild shit, so that helps too.
The terrifying thing is she's starting to act a little bit like me.
Hey.
And I'm like, good luck to whoever you date.
Yeah, I feel like we need more people like you in this world, so there you go. People are getting a little too soft, so. But, yeah, 168. I felt like this was a great episode. Thank you for fucking driving out here.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me, man.
And yeah, fucking finally getting this done. We're definitely, like I said, we got to do this a little bit more often. But again, another big shout out to Sincere, my barber, 24K Barber Lounge, for letting us set up in here and record. We're gonna do this a lot more often, and hopefully the next time we're here, we actually have Sincere on, so then you know put a name to the face, and then we can promote that a little bit more. And he's a cool guy, dude. Cool guy too. He's been cutting my hair since I was like 17 years old. So, yeah, that's why I look so fresh right now. So
better part of a decade.
But honestly, so Jacob, anything else that you want to say before we sign out?
No, I'm pretty hungry. Ready to go.
There you go.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
Boom. Everybody love everybody. We'll see y'all next week. Deuces. Boom.